So obviously we're working hard to get the Surface Book to be produced at a high enough volume that we can meet the demands in the countries where we already have it available. And as soon as we can do that, we're obviously very eager to bring it to new countries and get it into the hands of as many consumers as possible. You know, as a company, we're still learning a lot about producing hardware at scale. And Surface, Lumia phones, Surface Book, these are all products we're getting better and better at producing, but we want to make sure when we bring a new product to market, Surface Book is the very first one of its kind, that we do it in a way that we can execute it with really high quality, and we think that doing a limited number of countries at the start is a much smarter way to go to figure out, hey, let's make sure we're doing this with really high quality at the volumes that we need for the countries we're in, before we sort of overextend and try to do it in lots and lots of countries that we're going to not be able to satisfy the demand. So we want to bring it to more countries. We want to make sure we do it in really high quality. Doing the hardware and the software, the supply chain, meeting the needs of all these different retailers, you know, it's quite an undertaking. And so for us, the quality is just super important, as opposed to just trying to get it everywhere. And that's what we're doing. Again, this is one of many products that we have. It's one of a whole bunch of keyboards that we have available. The cool thing about it is it's nothing that's proprietary to Microsoft. Windows Hello is built into Windows, so any one of our hardware partners can bring out devices that take advantage of that. The Surface Pro 4 iris or camera actually does Windows Hello as well, without the fingerprint, but just recognizing your face. And that's another way to use Windows Hello with any country that has Surface Pro 4. Obviously, we build our products with the intention of bringing them to as many countries as possible, but we always have to optimize for a really high quality execution by Microsoft. And hardware is different than software. You know, it takes a different DNA, a different ability to scale that out. It's not as simple as, okay, here are these digital bits called Office, and we've done them in 192 countries, and the new version's available in 192 countries. We've never done a keyboard with a fingerprint scanner built into it. First time ever. So we're going to do it in a small number of countries, make sure we love it, make sure we're getting it right, and if we feel like we're getting it right, then we can go expand. So we just announced at the Devices Day, we just announced the Developer Edition. Yeah. Will cost $3,000 US. That first edition is not something that we expect consumers to go out and buy and bring into their home and give to their kids. It's a Developer Edition. We want developers, we want the builders and the makers of the world to start building software that really takes advantage of what HoloLens can do. And so for us, we think it's super important to build a really big set of apps that don't just run on HoloLens, because any Windows 10 app runs on HoloLens because it's a Windows 10 device, but we want apps that take advantage of it. We want apps that actually use the holographic capabilities in the device. So rather than launching a device that has very few apps that do that, other than the apps we ship or we build, we actually want a device that developers can get their hands on, start building awesome things for. And it's been awesome to see the enterprise interest from businesses to sort of use it inside their company. And the Developer Edition is something we think developers will buy. We also think commercial customers will buy it and start playing with it. So phase one is all about getting developers super excited. That's why we've called it the Developer Edition. That's why it's $3,000. This is a high-end PC that essentially has all new capabilities that we need developers to tap into. We need to get the developer ecosystem to build for it, and then we can decide what the next steps are. I mean, it's not like we're putting, whatever HoloLens sees in your room, it's not like that goes back to Microsoft in some database. I mean, with all of our products, you own your data. Unlike some of our competitors, you own the data that you create. You have full control over how that data is used. And that is, just paramount to our promise, both to consumers, but also to our commercial customers. Commercial customers, it's their data, not our data. And we have to do a great job making it really clear that the core principle to Windows 10 is that our customers own their own data and are in full control of whether or not that data is something they keep all to themselves or which parts of it they're willing to share with us. So you take something like Cortana, this personal digital assistant that's built into Windows 10. She can help you a lot more the more you're willing to share with her. But her notebook is what she uses to get to know you, and you're in full control over whether or not what's in that notebook. You start Windows 10, Cortana introduces herself, and you have the option of saying thank you, but no thank you, right? And you always can look at what's in her notebook, and you can change what's in her notebook, add things, delete things. That's just one example, but it's a good example, I think, that every consumer can kind of understand. You own your data, you're in control of your data, and that's the core principle. Yeah, we're not that interested in ending that debate. Gaming is just an awesome, it's just an awesome form of entertainment. And if you look at the #1 activity anyone does on a phone, on a tablet, or on a PC, or on a console, it's gaming. So, for us as a gaming company, we love all forms of gaming. We don't really, we're not out to make the console better than the PC or the PC better than the phone. All of these devices have unique things to offer to a gaming experience. It's cool that all of these devices are running Windows. So your Xbox One is running Windows, your Windows Phone is running Windows, your Windows PC is running Windows. That allows us to have one store, that allows us to have one platform, that allows controllers to work on many devices. And the fact that the Xbox controller can plug into your PC, we think is cool. You buy it once, and you can use it with your Xbox, and you can use it with your PC. We're not trying to have this debate about the PC being better than the console. The console is great for gaming, the PC is great for gaming, the phone is great for a certain type of gaming. We want to create incredible games that work across all of those different types of devices. It's really about gaming for us. It's not about console gaming or PC gaming or phone gaming. We love them all. I don't really think of our naming as sort of like Apple or like Google. We don't worry too much about what the competition does when it comes to their names. For us, it's how do we name things in a way that consumers will really understand or our business customers will really understand. With us, the name of Windows 10 is Windows 10. And we think for consumers, that is the simplest way to talk about the new version of Windows. As we come, and it's a service, right? Windows 10 is run as a service. We'll come out with updates. We just released the fall update to Windows 10 that has a whole bunch of new enhancements that we're really excited about. But we didn't change the name of Windows 10. It's just Windows 10. We don't want any consumer to care, which actual build they're on. We just want to keep it up to date for you. So we want to keep it really simple. It's Windows 10. There'll be updates to Windows 10, but it's Windows 10. What we want to do is make it easy for an ISV who has an investment in an iOS app, as an example, or an Android app, to be able to bring that investment forward to Windows. That's different than running your iOS app on Windows. We want you to be able to take your code and essentially bootstrap that and get you moving that code base to Windows, and then take advantage of all the cool things that Windows does that your iOS app isn't going to do natively. So we're working hard on the sort of bridge, the toolkit for developers to be able to take their iOS app, bring that code over, build it for Windows, enhance it for Windows. So think of it as sort of an on-ramp to move your iOS app over to Windows, as opposed to something that just takes your iOS app and runs it automatically. That's not going to happen. The developer has to do work, but we want that work to be as minimal as humanly possible. And we want the apps that run on Windows Windows to take advantage of Windows. We don't want them to just be the same exact thing that exists somewhere else. You know, to take advantage of Cortana, to take advantage of the tiles in the UI. There's a lot of things that Windows has to offer that iOS and Android don't. So a first step is to make it easy for people to bring their code over. Yeah, so for us, you know, with Windows 10, we want it to run on a whole plethora of devices. Obviously, phones are one of them. With the phones that we're building on Windows 10, the Lumia 950, the Lumia 950 XL, we want those phones to be phones that businesses love, and we want those phones to be phones that Windows fans love. You know, we know what the reality is of our position in the phone market. You know, we're not kidding ourselves. So with 2016, it's all about meeting the needs of our Windows fans, and it's all about meeting the needs of our business customers. And it's not about trying to worry about what Apple's doing or what Android's doing. We have to focus on what we can do really well, and we think building a phone for Windows fans is something that the 950 delivers on, and we think building a phone that business customers can really love for its security, for its manageability, for its email and calendar experience, for its office experience. These are things this phone does super, super well. And so we'll focus on those customer sets and do a great job meeting their needs, and then we'll see, you know, what the next year brings. And that's really what our focus is for 2016.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Good to meet you.
Meet you too.